We already heard this last time.
I know. I don't think it's saved. I don't know why.
Oh. Does that mean we're gonna have to, like, pretend to go in that guy's room again?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, let's really quick, like, let's just...
What if you use the old psychology trick? Where...
Yeah, you can just talk anyway, because this was not... We were supposed to have gotten this done.
What if you use the old psychology trick where you walk really close behind him, like as if you're a worker, even though he knows you're not, but he's just being polite, like on auto drive, so he holds the door open for you, but then he realizes you're in there with him, and he's like, oh shit.
And then you run by him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that the Secret Society headmaster will fall for that.
I think he will. Kind of like when you hand something out to somebody and they take it automatically.
This is how I look when I talk to women. I'm just kind of like looking through them. I'm like, I wonder what her tits look like.
Oh,
They're definitely a Sigma male.
Oh, she's getting a phone. I wonder if she's talking to her boyfriend. Listen for word boyfriend.
She's checking the weather app.
What happened, Joe?
What's going on?
You dropped something and then you hit your head on my arm.
Yeah, and it hurt really bad because somebody's meaty arm was like...
My arm was just here.
It was like this.
Stop.
His arm was just like sitting there.
Boop, 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 boop.
It was literally just sitting there.
It was
Alright, what were we doing? Were
We have to like
looking over her shoulder? Can we look up her skirt?
we have to click on her again and get this to go through, even though we already did
somebody's
this.
gonna get hair all over my work outfit.
Or maybe when you lay down in bed.
I did that.
You did that last time?
Yeah, we had a conversation with him and he was like, the Bible sucks,
okay.
remember?
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
did you remember he said that? He was like, the Bible sucks, by the way.
It's like those idiots believing in fairy tales of creation. It's like, okay.
Anyway, Lucy, could you sit up straighter? We have to go in here.
And then get, like, insulted on our Christianity.
Well, don't we go in here and then we... Well, do we have to go back and click on anything on the computer or not yet?
I don't think so. I think it's later.
Okay, alright. Alright, okay. Return to Mac Miller.
Okay, so now Ariana Grande would be upset.
She'd be like, no, I'd have to give that dog back.
They want on its pages anything.
I'm pretty sure the Bible sucks. What do you think, Desmond?
Some people still do.
Yes.
I personally like the Quran.
Or that the moon landing was a hoax. I believe there's also a book claims the world was created in 7 days. A bestseller, too.
Where's this going, Doc?
The point, I suppose, is that you shouldn't trust everything you hear, everything you read. What's that your ancestors said? Nothing is true?
Everything is permitted.
Yes, exactly. It's part of what makes the Animus so spectacular. There's no...
Why do you keep hitting me?
I'm just trying to get my Cosmo hair
I don't
off.
know. Anytime we do a Let's Play with Jill, it's absolute chaos.
Well, I don't know what you expected when you invited me. We all knew I was chaotic.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to Revelations, though, just so we don't have to work around somebody's erratic work schedule.
Hey!
Are we able to go back in the Animus? Oh, we can't.
Not yet.
Mickey's playing with
Oh, there we go. Okay, now we can lay down on our...
Here you go.
Okay, anal plug there.
Well, what if they put a huge dildo sticking straight up on it, and like they were like, "You have to lay down, Mr. Biles."
Well, that's how it works. They have to shove it up into you so it like connects to your
Right.
brain easier.
Right.
That makes sense. It's kind of like the face huggers in Alien. How it has to go through your throat.
Except for it has to go through your butt.
Yeah.
No, it's like cocaine. How it like makes it work more in your brain faster.
We are close, Altair. Robert de Sable is now all that stands between us and victory. It is his mouth gives the orders. His hand pays the gold. With him dies the knowledge of the Templar treasure and any threat it might pose.
I still don't understand how a simple bit of treasure could cause so much chaos.
The piece of Eden is temptation given form. Merely look at what it's done to Robert. Once he tasted of its power, the thing consumed him. He saw not a dangerous weapon to be destroyed, but a tool. One that would help him realize his life's ambition.
He dreamed of power then?
Yes and no. He dreamed, still dreams, like us, of peace.
But this is a man who sought to see the Holy Land consumed by war.
No, Altair. How can you not see when you're the one that opened my eyes to this?
What do you mean?
What do he and his followers want? A world in which all men are united. I do not despise his goal. I share it. but I take issue with the means. Peace is something to be learned, to be understood, to be embraced.
He would force it.
And rob us of our free will in the process.
Strange to think of him in this way.
Never harbor hate for your victims, Altair. Such thoughts are poison and will cloud your judgment.
Could he not be convinced then to end his mad quest?
I spoke to him in my way, through you. What was each killing if not a message? But he has chosen to ignore us.
Then there's only one thing left to do.
Jerusalem is where you faced him first. It's where you'll find him now. Let this final offering lend you strength. Go, Altair. It's time to finish this.
Okay, you have to go to the thing and take the little knife from him.
It won't let me.
The little
So you
knife.
didn't have to.
Sorry. I thought they would give you, like, it's like, oh, look, you got a new grip for your knife. Kind of like in, what was it, COD World War II or
Yeah.
Vanguard?
Is the same voice actor that plays Warren also the same guy that voices Al Mualim?
It sounds like him. I don't know.
Because that would be like a cool comparison there.
Yeah, if the two are the same guy.
Yeah.
And they happen to be, like, he's the reincarnation of Ali.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's
nice.
like a...
Hey, wait, who
what
are
is
these?
it? Like a correlation or whatever it's
the
called.
concubines.
The concubines.
I don't know. I made it up. They kind of look like it.
Yeah,
They have
because
a
women
flat
aren't allowed to be
chest.
assassins in this time period.
Okay, but here's the thing. Well, okay, what about Cassandra and Ivor?
And that's a different country.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
What?
You know, I wonder how Altair would feel knowing that in about 700 or when's this, 1500?
This takes place in like 1100.
Okay. I wonder how Altair would feel knowing that in almost 1,000 years his country would ban into or across the Spider-Verse just because it had a trans poster in it. Speaking of fighting for freedom and free will, I wonder how he'd feel knowing that one of his countries was threatened by a cartoon character.
I think he'd be happy about it.
I bet he'd be okay with it.
He'd be like, oh,
He
wow.
seems like a transphobe.
I'm really glad I fought for all
Like
this
he
freedom.
seems like a transphobe.
The white cloak gave it away. I fought for all this freedom for expression and people to have their own values and belief systems for a cartoon to threaten the status quo so much that it had to be banned from this region.
Yeah.
Sounds like the assassins were definitely successful.
What's the problem here?
I don't know what is going on.
Honestly, I see a cartoon and I convulse.
I see a cartoon and it immediately threatens my religious beliefs so much that are used to control people with my government that I advocate that it be banned and anyone who likes it actually be punched in the face. That's my
I agree.
PG version. You need your horse, dude.
Well, I wanted to run.
Yeah, well, that's going to take quite a while.
I thought we had a long time today.
You're right, I'm sorry. I
Hey.
see you gravitated to the white horse immediately.
I did, yeah.
That's
the
really
better
racist
one.
of you, Nate.
So I had something to talk to you about, by the way, because you are
A raging racist.
our local our hack historian, sorry, as people have pointed out in the comments recently.
Our hack historian.
And I wanted to talk to you about something that I thought was really interesting.
I'm going to tread lightly on this for fear of offending people.
that I was looking at. Did you know that Genghis Khan annihilated something like 10% of the population in China back when he was actually, in power, going around doing his murders and stuff?
Yeah.
It was something like 10% of the population. And I was actually reading about this the other day, and they estimated that it was something like, what is it? It was something like, I'm trying to see this because I watched it on a thing and then I read about it too. Basically, it was somewhere between 50 and 70 million people are some of the estimates of how many people they killed during that
Jeez.
time. And there are actual scientific studies that project that the carbon emissions went significantly down at the time because there were so many fewer humans in that region. Isn't that crazy?
I believe it.
I think that's hilarious.
And also,
We should do it again.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest so people don't think I'm as smart as I might come off by knowing about this. I first heard about this on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's what made me want to look into it more. So, It's not like I was sitting around reading historical diaries and I happened to come across Genghis Khan knowledge.
Right.
I was just listening to one of my favorite bald men outside Lex Luthor, and it came up in conversation and I was interested in it. And something interesting is, right now, well, speaking of that, some of the ways that they would actually get into these castles and strongholds and stuff that should have been able to keep the Khans out and keep their army out, you know what they would do is they would capture people from surrounding villages and they would march them in front of them as human shields in a line.
That's horrific.
Isn't that messed up?
Yeah, messed up, totally,
And it's similar to during the bubonic plague in a way, because they would also light dead bodies on fire and fling them with catapults and stuff into strongholds to light housing on fire.
Jeez.
I want to go back to the carbon emission for a minute.
Yes.
I think next time Canada starts a wildfire, we should take Genghis Khan's advice.
You're saying they should take some people with the trees?
Yeah, because
I
they're
don't think
taking
there's
away
enough
my breathing in Minnesota.
There's
so.
not enough people in Canada to probably make a huge difference.
No.
Okay, Jill, alright. Hypothetically. You have to be really careful with this.
Hypothetically, theoretically, if that horrible thing happened.
I think hypothetically, if everyone in Canada disappeared overnight, yes, there would be lower carbon emissions in that area.
Right.
And there'd be less wildfires because there'd be less idiots starting them.
However, China makes up so much of them on their own that you're never going to really make progress with that country.
But what if China disappears overnight, too?
If China,
Alright, I'm going to talk to Merrick here.
If China disappeared overnight, I think there would definitely be less carbon emissions as well.
Yes.
Safety and peace, Altair.
Upon you as well, brother.
Seems fate has a funny way with things.
So it's true then. Robert de Sable is in Jerusalem.
I've seen the knights myself.
Only misfortune follows that man. If he's here, it's because he intends ill. I won't give him the chance to act.
Do not let vengeance cloud your thoughts, brother. We both know no good can come of that.
I have not forgotten. You have nothing to fear. I do not seek revenge, but knowledge.
Truly, you are not the man I once knew.
My work has taught me many things, revealed secrets to me. But there are still pieces of this puzzle I do not possess.
What do you mean?
All the men I've laid to rest have worked together, united by this man. Robert has designs upon the land. This much I know for certain. But how and why, when and where, these things remain out of reach.
Crusaders and Saracens working together?
They are none of these things, but something else. Templars.
The Templars are a part of the Crusader army.
Or so they'd like King Richard to believe. No, their only allegiance is to Robert de Sable and some mad idea that they will stop the war.
You spin a strange tale.
You have no idea, Malik. But tell me where they've been seen. I should be after him before he slips away.
3 places I can say for certain. West of here, near both a guard tower and a hospital. And to the southwest, at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. See what you can learn. I will do the same.
I'll be quick as I can.
Stay safe, my friend.
So listen to this. Since 2003, by the way, speaking more on the cons, they have run studies, and approximately 16 million men, or thereabouts, still have traces of his DNA in them to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how many people he forcibly impregnated, as YouTube.
Are you kidding me?
No,
There's still
serious.
traces of his DNA?
16 million?
Yeah, something like that.
I had heard a different stat somewhere. It was something like 1%, or maybe it was like 5% or something like that, of all the human population is somehow a descendant of Genghis Khan.
Because he was that horny?
Well, like, he would, do stuff with women, and then, like,
How many
they would have
times
a
a
bunch
day
of
did he
kids.
do that? Because, like, your life expectancy was a lot lower back then. So let's say if he lived until, like, 40 or 50 at most, wouldn't he have to do it, like, 20, 30 times a day to get at least somewhere near that number?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, he was probably rapping with at least one girl at night. I don't know. Genghis Khan, how old? Basically, I want to know how old he was when he died. Well, he lived to 65.
How did he not get that tired, though?
I'm sure he
Was
did.
he a two-pump chump? Is that how he didn't get tired?
I mean, like, you can be a two-pump chump, but when you get the action of 5% of the human population, or whatever Nate just made up, I mean, I guess you probably don't care much.
Well, I do have to be careful with my stats, because we have the resident Asian historian in the comments section.
Me! Yeah, me.
Okay.
I don't think what Genghis Khan did was that bad, though, because he didn't use Apache helicopters, unlike the United States, when they invaded different countries.
You know, I gotta be honest, I think the nukes furthered Japan's development.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I think Genghis Khan's seed furthered China's development. And technically I'm right, because I bet there's some people who invented some real cool stuff.
Very true.
That were descendants of him.
Very
Ew.
true.
Think about it.
That
Very,
upsets
very
me.
true.
What if I'm a descendant of him?
Well, you are.
I see the resemblance.
I am.
Really?
Yeah, aren't you 1% Asian?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I'm
1%
not.
everything else, so
Yeah,
I thought you were
1%
Asian.
Nigerian.
I am 1% everything else. Just
Aren't you part Ashkenazi Jew or something? I thought you were.
something like that.
Jill literally is part Jewish.
Yeah. AKA, you can make jokes about the Holocaust.
Occasionally I try and say something to her, and I catch her putting the little hat away. Like, she takes the little hat off her head and puts it in her pocket.
I do.
And I'm like, what
My
was
ancestors
that?
force it onto me sometimes, and I like find it
Your
on my head
ancestors?
randomly, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah, the ghosts of
Of Jew Bear.
Whoa!
ghosts of Jupiter.
Yeah, the ghosts of Jew Bear have like attacked me in my sleep. They've attached a
force the
tiny
hat
hat to
on
my
you.
head.
I like the idea that they have like a party version of the Jewish hat where it's got like the little elastic strap, so you can't just pull it off right away. Like how party hats have that little elastic that goes around your neck and your chin.
I mean, have you ever been to a Jewish party? Because they wear those.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't.
Oh, I go to them all the time.
Okay,
I wish I
really?
had.
I'm just liking celebrating the culture. That's why I go.
That makes sense.
I'm a big fan. Hey, I have a question here.
Well, before I answer that, do you think that when Jewish people are invited to wedding showers, they get upset and you have to like
Oh, no,
the
no.
invite as something else?
They also don't like baby showers. That's also a tough subject.
Yeah, that sounds like a tough subject. I think I would have. It would be like everyone else you're handing out a wedding shower or a baby shower invite to, and for them it's like a pregnancy gathering. Is what you call it.
You know, I heard Hitler was really.
Who? We can't talk about him.
I heard
Hey, why isn't this grabbing?
was really good at throwing showers back in the day for.
Jill, that was the
Jewish
joke. We
parties.
don't have to take it further. That was the whole joke.
I know. I was making a joke that like he
Okay.
frequents Jewish parties just
I know.
like Nate.
We didn't.
I was trying to compare him to Nate.
We didn't
I
have
was
to.
trying to make a joke that Nate is AH.
We didn't have to.
Nate's AH.
Is that because I'm German?
Yeah.
Did you have anything to say about my historical facts? Because you like to bring up all your historical facts and talk about them, but I brought up all these ones about Genghis and you had nothing. Jill,
I guess
you wanted to climb any viewpoints?
I guess I don't really know all the history of it. It does not surprise me because he liked to, just absolutely decimate every woman around him.
Hey, let Jill climb a
I
viewpoint.
want to climb one more viewpoint.
Okay, well, she'll complain if she doesn't get to play any.
I watched a couple of episodes of Expedition Unknown where Josh Gates found some treasure thing that belonged to Genghis.
Is Josh Gates like the brother of Ben Gates from National Treasure?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They sound related.
No, he's a famous archaeologist, kind of like Lara Croft in real life.
I thought
but a lot less death.
I thought he did.
Well, less deaf?
Death.
Oh.
I thought he did ghost hunting things too.
Yeah, he did that with Destination Truth.
Oh.
And then he kind of started following more his passion of Expedition Unknown, where he started following his passion of archaeology.
What's with these names? Also, that's a Templar down there. Did you see him?
It's supposed to be fun names. It's on the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
And he's an
What's next?
archaeologist.
Operation Impregnation? He's like, I am going to be reenacting Genghis Khan's war crimes on the small, remote village of Mbala. I made something up.
Okay.
He does try to find Shambhala.
The nearest emergency services are over 45 minutes away, so good luck stopping me.
He finds these tiny caves that are way up high in a mountain, and he kind of comes to the conclusion that he thinks that might have been what these people thought Shambhala was.
How did he come to the conclusion? Is it just Shambhala?
Because he used to read a lot of these texts and stuff.
Oh, so he's the expert.
I don't remember what they were. I don't know if they were Buddhists or monks or whatever the fuck they were, but they were some, and they used to talk about Shambhala as being this mountainous thing up in the air and stuff. And he was like, well, they made a bunch of weird caves in this mountain that's really high up in the air and hard to breathe up there because of the altitude. So maybe it's that.
Don't both Nathan Drake and Lara Croft look for Shambhala in a game?
That's in 2, isn't it?
Yeah, Uncharted 2.
I think so.
And then I thought that in the Tomb Raider, was it in the reboot or was it in the Legends era? I thought she
I think it
found
was in
Shambhala.
Legends, yeah.
All right, let Jill climb something or she will genuinely be upset.
Well, I want to... Okay.
I thought it was interesting. He doesn't say,
I
this
even
is
marked it
for
for
sure
you.
Shambhala. He just says, like, this could have been one of the options that might be Shambhala, considering all of the artifacts we just found in these caves, but we don't know for sure.
Well, if, I watched Full Metal Alchemist, The Conqueror of Shambhala anime movie, and I can say for sure that Josh Gates was a little bit off on what he actually thought Shambhala was.
That's true, definitely.
So I don't really think he knew.
I don't think he knows the
out.
history, personally.
I don't either. Did he use an Apache attack helicopter to discover that?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
He's American, right?
Right. I don't know if he is or not.
American, Joe?
He sounds like a good guy,
Josh
so I'm
Gates
going
is
to claim him
American.
as American.
You said he is American?
Yeah.
Some idiot on my right was talking.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You guys should look him up. He's fun. I really like him. He's a nice
fun.
TV personality.
He's just kind of fun.
He's kind of a
He's
funny
very
guy,
nice
kind of a
man.
goof.
He's just a
I think
riot.
he's very handsome. I
What
like
a
that he has
card.
archaeology.
He's
I
gonna
like that
do.
too.
He's gonna do like a bunch of weird destination shows too. Like I liked Operation Impregnation. How about like
Destination, your mom's butt.
what?
Stop being mean.
It's like the Hollywood Undead lyric. Destination, your mother's couch.
There's one episode where he finds like a legit dead body underneath some like ruin, which is pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad he didn't find an illegitimate dead body because I mean he probably planted it.
Oh.
Okay, Jill.
What is going on here?
I
I'm
don't
having a
know. We
hard
made the
time.
mistake of letting Jill play.
I'm having a hard time, okay?
So one thing that one show, if you could make up a show for Josh Gates, what would you want it to be about? Because for me, I'd want something like Operation Plantation, and he just goes back and he's like going through the history of slavery and how bad it was.
And maybe he reenacts it.
Yes.
So I'd want him to do Amalgamation Nation, and it would be when he takes a bunch of different people from different places and he like forces them into close proximity and makes them create a nation. So like he has like one Asian person, he's got like one black person, he's
Just
got
sounds like a Native American reserve in the United States. Oh, you don't like them? Similar skin tone. You guys can go there. Oh, but this is like the least sacred, most cursed land in our history. Yeah, what's the problem?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Aren't you glad to have land?
I am.
What about like something like Super Nation Menstruation, and it's just a nation of women who are all angry and on their periods and have to get along.
I like it.
Yeah, would you watch that, Jill?
They would like
I'd
kill
watch it.
themselves within a week.
They don't have to do any paintings with their period blood though, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I think that we give all of them cars and we just see how the population decreases with their driving.
No, why? See, these are the types of issues Amalgamation Nation would work through.
I'm glad that your idea would work well.
Operation Menstruation Nation wouldn't work through anything. They would just all bleed out, literally and figuratively. My favorite South Park quote is still, I'm sorry, Wendy, but I don't trust anything that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die.
But if she
Jill's to
only
your
bleeds
left.
for 3 days?
There you
That's
go.
a good point.
Huh, I never thought about that, actually.
Some people have periods that last less than 7 days.
Well, you seem usually crabby. Is yours just like constant, or how does that work, Jill?
Yeah, I have mine 24/7 all the time. It's
Okay.
actually kind of a problem. I could bleed out at any moment.
Okay, sorry.
Sounds like an issue
Is
there.
that why you have like the red IV bag you carry with you?
Yeah.
Nate, you had a question?
I did
for
have
me?
a question,
Sorry.
Here's my question.
Okay, here's my answer.
What is something that is very popular that you do not care at all about? I'll go first. I'll go first. Okay. I'm not very popular, but okay.
Okay.
I'll go first. Zodiac signs.
Okay.
I do not care. I have people all the time ask me, or I'll see it online, where I'll see like people discussing their signs.
There's
and
one up
it's-
there, Jill. Left.
Yeah, it's right to the left. And they'll be discussing their signs, and it's like the most important thing ever to them, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, this does, like,
I
what?
think they're kind of fun.
I think that
It doesn't matter to me at all. I'm not saying like you can't get into them. I'm just saying to me it doesn't matter.
Okay, I have a question for you based off this.
Okay.
So I think a lot of the reason you don't care about it is because you have other religious beliefs, right? Like that, and I'm not saying like those control your entire methodology and mindset all the time, but like you just think that they're fake, right? Because usually I hear Christian
pretty
people
much.
or like deists or Muslims or any of these things, I usually hear them say, "Oh, it's fake." My question was always like, well, if God wrote the stars and the heavens and all this stuff, why can't those things have meaning?
Well, and they could have meaning.
I agree.
I'm just saying
You don't care.
I don't care.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
like
fair,
they
I mean-
may or may not have meaning. I don't know. It just doesn't matter to me.
That wasn't supposed to be like a checkmate thing.
Right,
It's
no,
something-
I'm just saying.
It's something I always think of, is this a... We've done this one, Jill.
We have?
Yeah, look, it's...
Do you not see on the map?
It's not on the map.
Oh.
So you have
Well,
to...
let me climb up it anyway so I can, like, jump down into the hay
That makes
barrel.
sense.
That's fair. Right. That
Like,
makes sense.
I don't know what mine is. I've never cared to even learn.
I'm a Scorpio.
When were you born
Okay.
again?
Doesn't really
January
matter.
something?
I was born in January.
Yeah,
January
January
what?
6th, 2021.
21, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
What? No,
Best
seriously.
ever. I'm not going to say my birthday.
Well, I'm not. I can cut it out.
Okay, when was
Okay.
Okay.
The zodiac sign for is Aquarius.
Okay.
You're Aquarius.
Okay.
So you're an Aquarian.
Cool. I'm glad we figured that out.
So,
I
I
will
wanted-
forget that tomorrow.
I wanted to say why I'm interested in zodiac signs.
Okay.
Well, this wasn't the question. The question was, what are you not interested in?
Well, I want to say why I'm interested
Okay.
in them.
Fair
So,
enough, fine.
You know when you go to Chinese food restaurants and they have those little placemats and they tell you like, oh, you were born in the year of the snake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dumb stuff like that, and it's like, oh, that's fun. That's like a stupid little doop thing.
So you think it's stupid?
Well,
Wow.
I like it.
Nate
you know,
didn't
like,
even say
So now
that.
you're
know
insulting
the-
all Chinese people.
You know the amusement that you get
What?
from like,
You said they're dumb.
Oh,
the amusement that you get from hearing about like little tiny dumb things that don't matter, like, oh, I'm Year of the Rabbit.
reach high point?
What is that? It's synchro point. Viewpoints.
Reach high
Reach high points.
Yes, okay, so you're
Yeah.
saying it's like fun trivia.
I think it's like a little bit of a fun thing. Like, oh, well, my sun sign is Virgo, my moon sign is Aries, and my rising star sign is Gemini.
Fair enough.
Fair
So,
And I
yeah.
think that's fun. It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything super important, but I think it's fun to just kind of know, oh,
Why don't you do the
well, I'm a
pickpocket
little bit special in my own little way.
didn't know this mattered. That makes sense. It was just like a fun trivia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
like
sense.
a little bit of fun. Like a, maybe I got a little something special about me too from the stars.
Okay,
Fair enough.
One second.
That makes sense.
Everybody wants to feel a little
Jill, be
special.
quiet.
Bring that to your master, then. It contains everything you asked for.
Your assistance in this most delicate of matters is greatly appreciated.
It is my job to keep the peace.
And keep it you will. You'll have no trouble from us.
It's not you and yours that concern me, but the citizens. You picked a strange time to visit our city.
We've simply come to pay our respects.
And stir up trouble for it.
It's not my fault your people can't tell enemy from friend.
Look, you've got what you came for. I think it's best you were on your way.
Okay, so I wanted to answer you really quick while I do this pickpocket because we have to take Jill to work. I will say it used to be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I like Harry Potter now more than I did, but I still think it's not as interesting as people act like it is.
That makes sense.
My other one is Lord of the Rings, believe it or not. I like Lord of the Rings though now. I don't dislike it anymore. I used to think it was stupid.
Right.
I don't think that anymore. I just think, oh, I like the video games.
Yeah, like
That's
Shadow
about
of
it.
War and
Oh, are we
yeah.
thinking of things we think are stupid?
No, we're talking about things that like are popular that
There's a flag to your left.
we just don't care that much about as a person. And I guess my
The
final
Pride Parade.
really, you don't care about it?
Yeah, I have a whole thing about this.
Well,
So-
we don't have time for your whole thing. We have to take you to work.
Let me just explain for like a minute. So, as somebody who figured out that they were of the bisexual variety,
Like Nate, yeah.
Yeah.
growing up, people would always be like, "You should come to this Pride Parade with us, baba doo babu." And like for me, I didn't really feel like I wanted to flaunt random things about my personality because I didn't want everybody to just know me as the weird girl who likes both genders. I wanted people to know me as somebody who likes video games.
So
or
you wanted your
makes cool
personality to be
things.
about actual things, not just where you want to put your wiener?
Yeah.
That's crazy
you had
talk.
one.
I didn't know.
And that's my problem with the Pride Parade is I feel like you're just putting on a show instead of tackling actual problems in the world.
Yeah, and that's kind of my thing too with it. And by the way, Nate, is the White Parade still at the same time this week? Or,
Yeah, it is.
So am I still invited?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
We need all the help we can get.
Okay, all right, got it. But Jill, I completely agree on your parade. That parade's silly and unimportant. Nate, is the barbecue still on for this week too?
We're gonna have unseasoned chicken.
Oh,
So it's gonna be lit.
all right, very good. And I see that you learned a new vocabulary. Will you be blasting Kanye songs?
Absolutely. I love Kanye. I will also be inviting my man D. Trump.